What's up, guys? Okay, it's Friday, it's 2:37, it's a late start. I'm gonna try to get something done, at least a little bit. So our next bug is the disappearing draw card during the draw animation for both clients, where the card lands in its final location and then it just immediately disappears. So that is definitely an issue. We want to fix that. Hopefully we can just knock this shit out quickly and move on to the next thing. See if we can get that working. Okay, it's working. Couldn't hear the sound. Alright, so let's go ahead and get started on this. Okay, so let's look at these release notes real quick first. Welcome to August 24. So this was actually last month. There are many updates in this version that we hope you'll like. Some of the key highlights include Profiles Editor, switch and manage your profiles from a single place, Django unit test support, discover and run Django unit tests from the Test Explorer, IntelliSense on VS Code Dev, boost your JavaScript and TS, I don't know TS, TypeScript coding in VS Code .dev with IntelliSense, Notebook diff viewer efficiently review changes in notebooks by collapsing unchanged cells. That's pretty cool. I don't really know like what notebook means though. Okay. Cool. I mean, I don't really like. I don't. I'm the only one working on my project, so I don't really work with diffs. Like I have, but it's not, you know. Anyway, I'm sure it's a cool feature. Resize columns via the keyboard. Resize table columns in VS Code. I don't really know what a table. A table column. Okay. Yeah, I don't know about this. This is like kind of obscure stuff. This is like easy hard collapse. Remove the source control graph. I don't know what that is. Source control graph. I have no idea. You know, you learn about stuff by looking at it here. You look at it a little bit later, and then if it's important, you'll hear about it again. If it's not, you won't hear about it. GitHub Copilot. It's not that simple, obviously, but you know. Add context in quick chat. Improve test generation and chat history. Experiment custom Copilot instructions. Define specific code generation instructions for Copilot. Add context in quick chat. Improve test generation and chat history. Yes, I don't use Copilot. Maybe one day. I just like, I'm too new to feel like I should use Copilot. I feel like Copilot is, I feel like I'm still a Copilot. You know what I mean? Like I'm not, you know? I don't feel like I am ready for a Copilot yet. I have to be a Jedi first before I can train someone else, you know, to be a Jedi. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. Anyway, so we have the draw animation disappear bug. During the draw animation for both clients, after they choose their draw card, it moves visually to the hand location, but then disappears. And we suspected initially, I just have a, from experience, with the project. I suspect um, dirty being the culprit. And if you don't know about dirty, dirty is it's a pie game Boolean switch basically, and if it's dirty for the dirty sprites will be redrawn. If not, then they won't be redrawn. Um, so off the bat, I'm just gonna look real quick for dirty, and it shouldn't be many instances. There's only 23. Okay, so we have the cards are Pygame Sprite, Dirty Sprites. Okay. And I forget exactly why they're dirty sprites, but I know it's for a good reason. And yeah, so there's a good reason. Alright, so let's read this. So this is change display layer. A Boolean switch for the purpose of ensuring that in instances where the display layer of a card is changed but the XY coordinate is not changed, self dirty will be set to equal 1 when game.cardGroup update is called, ensuring the card will be redrawn, selecting will be redrawn, reflecting the current display layer. This switch is changed to equal true whenever display layer is changed via the calculated property. In update, the adder is changed back to false if it is found to be true. Now that, I feel like I just said the same thing 3 times in a row. For the purpose of ensuring that instances when display layer is changed but the XY coordinate is not, self dirty will still be set to equal 1 when game card is called, ensuring the card will be redrawn, reflecting new display layer. The switch is changed to true whenever display layer is changed. We just put how about this? Changed to equal true whenever display layer changed to true via the display layer calculated property. In update, the adder is changed back to false if it is found to be true. There we go. Alright. So cool. Let's keep going here. So 30 will still be set to equal 1. Okay. This is line 66. I hate how it scrolls to the right. Like, why does it do that? That is such a pet peeve of mine. So this is on 66. Okay, this is on 114. What's this one? Self display layer is changed to true. Okay. So we have switch zone is Boolean switch zone in the case when only the card's display layer has been changed while the X or Y have not been changed and update is called. The card is repainted. No, you say redrawn by changing self.dirty equal to 1. Cool. Alright. So next is Okay, so this is the function really that I was looking for, and this is the update function. So we have the modifies the built-in Pygame update, and then wait, so is it card dot update or game dot update? Two different or just one? Okay, so we have modifies built-in Pygame update function for dirty sprites, automatically updating the dirty value to 1. Okay. So dirty sprites allow you to have the self.dirty attribute. If it's set to 0, nothing is redrawn. If it's set to 1, they are redrawn. So like whenever you're, instead of having to redraw everything, you only have to redraw stuff that's been moved, aka things that are identified as being dirty. If they're not, if they haven't been moved, you don't have to repaint the same object. You just leave it as it is and only redraw the objects that have been moved. See what I'm saying? Cool. So let's see. If int of self x int, so change display layer. Now, I really shouldn't have just assumed that this was the problem, but I know that it shows the card moving, and then all of a sudden it doesn't show the card moving anymore once it lands in its location. Um, so I was just going to check this out first. So we're good. It shouldn't take too long anyway. So we have def update. We use in here because it rounds down to the closest 100 value. The chances they would be equal to without doing this versus nearly 0. So if int of self x, int of self y is not equal to int of self.prior x, int self.prior y, or self to change display layer is equal to true. Okay. Self.dirty equals 1. If self.change display layer is equal to true, self.change display layer equals false. Okay, self.prior x, gotcha. Okay, okay. This is all making sense to me. Now, when is this function run? Like when does, let's put this in the note, 125 card by, when is update run? Okay, keep on going here. Let's just get a nice broad overview of all of our different code associated with this. Then we have the Pygame sprite, dirty sprite group creates the card group sprite group. Okay, card group Pygame sprite layered dirty. Gotcha. Okay, so this is the card group which contains all of the cards, the sprites. Then we have this clears the screen, retaining the layer dirty sprites that are not being moved as still drawn on the screen. Retaining the layer dirty sprites that are not being moved as still drawn on the screen, then erasing ones that need to be moved, and reapplies the background. Game card group clear. Okay. Now we have in progression text for current card in game.cardGroup. So we set them all to dirty for whatever reason. I don't know why we do that there, but I'm sure we had a reason for that. We didn't put a comment. I don't know why. Enter continue text. We do the same thing. Doesn't say why we do it, but I'm guessing I did this for a reason. Okay, so I think that's it. Alright, now I need to figure out about update. So let's look at update. And really we're looking for this function. So let's see. Okay, this is the self change display layer. Boolean switch for ensuring that instances when display layers change, but the x y coordinate is not. Self30 will be set to equal 1. And how does this work exactly? So when we change the display layer, change display layer gets set to true. And it's saying this happens in the card group update function. Okay. Oh, right, because in display layer it change display layer to true, and then when we run update, if it meets these parameters, meaning if its display layer is equal to true, then it's set to dirty, and that makes it so that whenever it's redrawn, it's not erased or whatever, it still remains on the screen. But I don't really think this is going to be our problem necessarily with the display layer. It could be though. It could be that you know what? I think I know a section here. I'm gonna go off on a tangent real quick and check this. It's in draw window main. Let's see if we can find it. Okay, we're in draw window main right now, and okay, so here's where we call game card group update. So this gets called as long as the game state is not equal to the draw one or waiting other player. Okay, so that shouldn't be our problem. This not getting called. This is definitely getting called in that instance because it's not during draw one or waiting other player. See here. So this updates the sprite rect locations for each frame. If this is not run, the card simply teleport from start location to the final location in card movement without any gradual movement, which is not good. Obviously, we want them to not to gradually move. I mean, not to instantly move, but to gradually move. Update. Okay. Draw. Okay, so when it runs card group.update, what exactly happens? I'm gonna, oh wait, hold up, let me see this first. If self game state is in the draw too. Okay, this is for highlighting cards. I'm not worried about that. Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna find anything there. That seems like everything would work. Okay, so we looked at that line, we looked at this one. When does this get called? That's my question. When does card update get called? Does this ever get called? Okay. And I'll put a note here. Alright. Let's move on. Calls visual deck discard hand pre-sort update or visual red 3 meld update. Handles regular pen location movement. Okay. Alright. Next one. If screen surface endure a self to avoid server side attribute error due to screen surface existing only on the client side. Screen surface endure of self. Draws the dividing line on the middle. Okay, so this is nothing that we need to look at. Game card group update. Updates the sprites rect locations for each frame. Okay, this is the one we already looked at. Pygame display update. So what is game card group update? So we have three different things. We have card update, then we have game update, and then we have Pygame display update. Okay. And I have a feeling that the card one is not actually being used. So this needs to be reviewed. but let's just keep going through. So here's the main Pygame display update. This updates the display to reflect new game information. Okay, so the update that I'm looking for actually probably is this one, the game card group update. This update is more of a generic Pygame command. This is required for the input text to display properly on the display screen. If it's not called, input text only displays after it has been blitted over by a card or something. Okay, so yeah, that is necessary just for the display to work in general. These are going to be different update, and that's it. After this, there's no more. Okay, so I think the one where... So this is what needs to be run in certain instances. Well, this needs to be run like all the time. Actually, this needs to be run every single time the screen is drawn. This should be run every time the screen is redrawn. This should be run every time the screen is redrawn. Yeah, almost certain of that. Then we have, is this correct? Are we supposed to call card update review? And I'm pretty sure this actually is right, because the card group here is, and we're gonna add a comment, and we're gonna put review clarification comment. So that one we don't have to worry about. This is the unrelated to game dot card group dot update. This is a generic, a universal Pygame screen update. And we'll put this part second. And let me just ask ChatGPT real quick about it to ensure that my assumptions are correct. Pygame display update. In Pygame, the display update function is used to update the contents of the entire display surface or a portion of it. When you draw graphics or make changes to the display surface, those changes won't appear on the screen until you call Pygame display update. This is essential for rendering the visual updates to the user. Updating the entire display. If you want to update the entire screen, you call Pygame display update with no arguments. Gotcha. Okay, cool. And then we have game.cardgroup.update, and we'll just put dirty sprite group. And ChatGPT is so smart, it's gonna know what I meant. In Pygame, a dirty sprite group is a concept that relates to optimizing sprite rendering. When working with sprite groups, you often deal with updating and rendering sprites efficiently. The Pygame sprite group class provides methods to manage and update multiple sprites simultaneously. Here's a breakdown of how to use update with sprite groups and the concepts of dirty sprites. Sprite groups. Pygame sprite group. This class allows you to manage and update multiple sprites efficiently. You can use methods like add, remove, update to handle sprite collections. Update method. This method is typically used to call the update method on each sprite within the group. Okay, so I think if I understand this correctly, when we call update on, when we call game.cardgroup.update, that in turn calls update on every single sprite in the card group, which is calling the card.update method. This is typically used to call the update method on each sprite within the group. Each sprite can have its own update method, which is the card.update method that we're wondering if it was used, which handles its individual logic, movement, and animation. Okay, so right here, this is exactly what they created. Same thing that I did, class card, and then it's got an update. Yeah, that's exactly what we did. See, same thing. We have the card, which is a Pygame sprite, dirty sprite, and then we have defined the update. So, well, I'll put gets called on each card sprite via game.cardgroup.update. So this should be used, like this should be like this should actually be fine then, as long as this code is correct, unless like this code right here is bugged. And I'll just put below line section, is this reason for bug? And we're not sure at this point. And so yeah, we have the update, we create the sprite group, card group add, right, da 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 da, update, da 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 da, card group draw, screen, so on and so forth. And they use flip instead of update for whatever reason. In some advanced scenarios, especially with older versions of Pygames or custom optimizations, you might hear about dirty sprite groups. The idea is to only update parts of the screen where changes occur, reducing unnecessary redraws, dirty recs, while keeping track of which parts of the screen need updating. When a sprite changes, you mark the area it affects as dirty, so only that area is redrawn. While Pygame itself doesn't use dirty recs extensively in its current versions, you can implement this concept manually if you want more control over automation. For most use cases, the update method on sprite groups and efficient drawings are sufficient. If you're working on more complex optimizations or games with large numbers of sprites, considering other techniques or libraries specialized in performance might be necessary. Okay, so basically, game.cardgroup.update in turn calls card.update, and if car.update has logic to set the sprite to dirty equal 1, then the card should be redrawn. Yes, you've got the right idea. Let me clarify a little bit how update works. This method calls updates on all. This method call updates all sprites in the card group. Internally, update on card group iterates through each sprite and calls their individual update methods. Sprites update method. Each sprite can have its own update method that contains logic for how the sprite should change over time. When you call card group update, each sprite's update method is called in sequence. 30 sprites and more about optimization is not automatically handled by Pygame's built-in update method. Here's how you might manually incorporate dirty recs concept custom update. If you want to use dirty recs, you modify each sprite to track changes. After calling, you would need to determine which parts of the screen are dirty and need to be redrawn. You then use the pygame.display.update dirty recs to only update those regions. For this, you would typically maintain a list or set of rectangles that represent the areas of the screen that need updating. Right, okay, so I'm like, where is dirty like checked? Okay, so this does clears the screen, retaining the layered dirty sprites that are not being moved as still drawn on the screen, and then erasing the ones that need to be moved, and reapplies the background. If this is not run, the background is not displayed properly. Okay. Game card group clear, and then we'll just put card group is layered dirty sprite group. Does that clear function method detect which sprites in the group are dirty? Clear method Pygame layer dirty sprite group does not directly detect which sprites are dirty. Instead, it is used to clear the areas of the screen where sprites are drawn before they are redrawn. Clear method is used to efficiently manage screen updates by clearing the areas where sprites have been drawn so they can be updated or redrawn. It is particularly useful when using layer dirty sprite groups which support dirty rectangle optimization. Okay. Clear is responsible for clearing the areas of the screen where sprites were previously drawn. Clear is responsible for clearing the areas of the screen where sprites were previously drawn. Okay. It does not inherently track which sprites are dirty. Instead, it relies on the information provided by the layered dirty group to clear appropriate regions. Layered dirty sprite groups use a mechanism to track which parts of the screen need updating based on sprite movement or changes. Okay. Clears the area where the sprites are drawn. Draws the updated sprites. Clear screen background. And then draw the updated sprites. But what about the sprites that like didn't need to be updated? Do they get cleared? Like what? Doesn't there have to be some special logic for it to determine like if we're only going to redraw the updated sprites, then when we do clear using this layer dirty sprite group, doesn't that mean the layer dirty has to have some intrinsic logic that says, hey, but don't erase the ones that aren't being updated because we're just going to keep those, right? Like, isn't that the point of the layer dirty sprite group being a class? Because otherwise you would just draw the updated sprites, and then it says update only the dirty areas of the screen. So in your above example, doesn't that mean that all sprites would get cleared, but only dirty sprites would get redrawn? What about the other sprites that weren't dirty? You're absolutely right. In the context of layered dirty sprite groups, the clear method indeed clears the areas where sprites were drawn, and this can affect all sprites, not just the dirty ones. However, the actual redrawing and updating are handled more precisely. Clear method uses clear part of the screen where sprites have been drawn. Use background servers provided to restore those areas to their previous state. It's not inherently discriminate between dirty and non-dirty sprites. It clears the areas where any sprites in the group were drawn. Okay. The layer dirty group internally tracks which sprites are dirty, i.e. have changed since the last draw. Internally tracks which sprites are dirty. This tracking allows layer dirty to manage updates more efficiently by focusing on only those parts of the screen that be updated. Okay, right. That's what I'm asking you. Jibbity? Am I confused or are you confused? When you call card group draw screen, only the dirty sprites are drawn. The draw method will only redraw sprites that are marked as dirty and returns rectangles that were redrawn. Dirty rectangle. Right. Okay. It's called update all sprites. This potentially marks some sprites dirty if they have changed. This way. Yeah. That while all previously drawn areas are cleared, only the necessary parts are redrawn. Okay, I see what chat. Okay, all right, yeah. ChatGPT. Hey, ChatGPT is a big help, right? Very big help. I don't want to knock ChatGPT. So the problem though is I think I went a little too deep. I focused on one thing. I don't know. Maybe I'm right. Let me zoom back out here. Regain my bearings. Okay. So the question is, where does dirty get checked? That's the question. I don't see it anywhere. It's like built in to the. Let me just look this shit up from the documents, man. Pygame layered dirty sprite group. Let's do that. All right, here we go. Let's look for layered dirty. Here we go. Layered dirty group is for sprite dirty sprite objects. Okay. Draws all sprites in the right order onto the path surface. Used to set background. Okay. Repaints. Okay. This group requires dirty sprite or any other sprite that has the following attributes. Dirty. There we go. It uses the dirty flag technique and is therefore faster than the Pygame sprite render updates. If you have many static sprites, it also switches automatically between dirty rec update and a full screen drawing. So you do not have to worry what would be faster. Same as for Pygame sprite, you can specify some additional attributes. Okay, yeah. So like, so this is draw. Or rather, it's not draw, it's update, right? It uses the dirty flag as a. Let's go to dirty sprite. That's okay. Dirty equals 1. If set to 1 is repainted, then set to 0 again. If set to 2, then it is always dirty, repainted each frame. Flag is not reset. 0 means that it is not dirty and therefore not repainted again. blend mode. Okay, alright. Gotcha. Okay. Hmm. Okay. So the dirty flag is detected. Let's see. When is it, like, when is it checked? It's checked on update. Let's see. Calls update method has an update method takes any number. There's no way to get it. Sprites draw does choose sprite image for, but layer dirty draw uses it. The group does not keep sprites in order, since the draw order is arbitrary. Draws a background over the sprites. Erases the sprites used in the last group draw call. So it's basically like wiping the screen clean. The destination surface is cleared by filling the drawn sprite positions with. The destination surface is cleared by filling the drawn sprite positions with the background. Destination surface is cleared by filling the drawn sprite positions with the background. The background is usually a service image, the same dimensions as the destination surface. However, it can also be a callback function. I'm pretty sure, man, it's the draw that checks for dirty. Which method checks the dirty flag? Dirty flag is used to optimize process. Okay. Each sprite in a layer dirty, which is used in environments. Typically managed within the sprite's update method. Call methods like update or draw. Okay, so both update and draw. This method checks the dirty status of each sprite to determine which sprites need to be redrawn. Gotcha. Returns a list of dirty recs. Okay. Gotcha. So this logic should work. Like, I feel like I understand it again now fully, and let's see, what don't I understand? I think I understand everything. I just need to find the bug. It might not have anything to do with this, but I'm suspecting that it is associated with the dirty, something to do with this. But I'm gonna add this comment. Let's see, is this the reason for a bug? Let's put it's called on each part on each card sprite via game card group update. Okay, automatically updating the sub dirty value to 1 if card was moved, or if changed display layer equals true. Okay. I think I can check this um, to see if this. I think I know a way to check this. Let's see if we go to our attributes. No, this is not. Alright, let me look at the actual associated code here in progression, this section of the game that's run. We have the draw animation. That's not what we're worried about. It's this part where we append the card, the draw card, to the hand, and we pop it from the deck. It travels to the correct location. And this is going to in turn call custom append list, which is going to in turn call, let's see, that's going to call append. Append is going to call card movement, and then card movement is going to card movement is going to this is going to move the card little by little, and it's going to call draw window main each time. Okay. So what I'm thinking is that once it gets moved to that final location, it's no longer considered dirty. But it should still get redrawn by the logic of layer dirty, the sprite group, and it being cleared and all that. Even if it's not dirty, it should still be displayed. I don't understand why it would simply not be displayed. Like, why would it be just, why would it just disappear and not be redrawn? Because I was caught up on the dirty thing, but even if it's not dirty, the whole point of the dirty system is to allow for the non-dirty objects to still be redrawn as like part of the background. It basically like takes a picture of it, erases all the parts of it that were dirty, and then redraws the sections, like, then it redraws the sections that were dirty and then applies the background image as well, so anything that wasn't dirty also appears there. Now the only thing that I could think about, like, maybe is that the display layer is somehow lesser than like the background, but that doesn't make sense to me. I don't know why that would be a problem. Let me look up display layer real quick just to see. So display layer starts off as 0 for the card. Now here's a just quick, well, let me just go through these real quick. I hate dealing with Pygame, honestly, dude. It's a nightmare. It's a nightmare, honestly. It is not fun. Like, every time I have to mess with the Pygame logic, I'm just like, please God, no. So right here, this is where the display layer gets set in this case, because we're updating the hand. Resituated after cards have just been appended to another. For whenever the hand pre-supply cards is being resituated after cards have just been appended to another card group after having been popped from the hand. Okay, yeah, that's for resituation. Okay, that's not, we don't need to worry about that. So it should enter the else section. For the decking scarp out or the hand whenever the cards are being added to it. Okay. So if card, gotcha, card movement, and then it sets the display layer to the length of the card group plus 1. So in this case, the length of the card group would have been 0 plus 1. So the display layer should equal 1. Let me try this. I want to just change this to be, we'll just put 9999 for now. And let's see if this is the problem. So let's run the server. Well, actually, hold up. I didn't finish going through all these. I moved the code that assigns display layer to locations to draw animation. Okay, right. Okay. So yeah, I want to say, I'm not sure. I could be totally wrong here, but I want to test this. So we're just gonna put in things to do. I don't want to forget this. Exit out all this other stuff. And let's go. What line is this? 444. Enable line number 444 in by and remove line number 443 after testing. Okay, so then let's go over to game. Line is that 1058. Is this correct resource code? Okay. Update the sprite rec location for each frame. Okay. And I'll put intern calls the card dot update 30 sprite method for each 30 sprites in the card group, which assigns proper dirty logic. Executes. Okay. Now, intern calls. Let's put intern. Let's put calls the card update method for each 30 sprite in the card group, which executes proper logic. Gotcha. Okay. And then it draws on the screen surface. And what did chibbity chibbity? What did chibbity chibbity pass to draw? Okay, yeah, screen. Gotcha. I was just curious as to how chibbity chibbity did it. Okay, so now let's try and see if we fix the bug. I am not really hopeful, but hey, you never know. Maybe we did. Maybe we fixed it. I kind of rushed through that a little bit. Maybe just a little. Alright, so let's Joshua. And you know what? It might be because of the delay, dude. I didn't even think about that. Because we have an extra long delay implemented just like for safety features right now. But I'm just like, maybe it would reappear after the delay. I didn't even think about that. If that's the issue, I'm gonna be kind of pissed. Because I spent all this time like looking at fucking dirty and then... Let's see. Okay, so there's the delay. Okay, so this is weird. I don't remember it doing this. It shows it. Man. Okay, well actually, alright, okay. To be fair, if I wouldn't have changed that display layer line, I might not have realized that that card was the actual draw card. So it's just in the wrong location. Damn, bro. I hate when I do. Fuck. I hate when I do stuff like this, bro. Well, at least changing that line helped me figure out a part of the problem. But so the dirty thing was not the problem. Oh well, now I understand it better. I reviewed it. Whatever. SMH, dude. SMH. Okay, so I think what's happening here is we are, let me think about this. So it's moving the cards to the proper hand location, and then it is changing them back to their previous location from the draw animation. And let me just like not assume anything, because that's what I just did, and you see what happens when you assume things in programming. Just don't assume anything ever. Ever. Nothing. None. Don't. Just don't think you know what the problem is, because you're probably wrong. At least I'm wrong in this case. Never assume, ever. Even if it looks like it might be the problem, just don't. Just don't. Okay, so let me just go through this line by line here. While true for current card in master deck, current card rank is not equal to Joker. It's past that. Alright, right here. While, maybe it has something to do with this while loop. Let's look at this. Don't assume anything. It's not the while loop. Just look at every line as equally possible as being the culprit as any other line. While P1 intersection finish is equal to false, or P2 intersection is equal to false. If P1 game click card is not equal to none, and P1 intersection finish is equal to false, P1 draw card equals P1 game dot click card. Okay, so if they've clicked a card, gotcha. Okay, yeah. So let me just put this through. If they have clicked a card,